Hola futboleros, ¿cómo están? Espero que se encuentren muy bien. La selección chilena se juega el todo por el todo, se juega la vida en la Copa América ante la selección de Canadá este sábado por la fecha 3 del grupo A de la Copa. Amigos, la selección de Chile, el cuadro dirigido por Ricardo Gareca, llega a este partido con toda la presión y la necesidad de ganarle al cuadro de la CONCACAF. Necesitan llevarse los 3 puntos, pues otro resultado no les sirve. Amigos, para este partido he traído un invitado. He traído a un analista deportivo canadiense que nos va a brindar una perspectiva mejor de este partido tan interesante que se disputará entre Chile y Canadá. Sin más que pedirles, por favor amigos, que se suscriban al canal, me apoyen dejándome su buen like y también sus comentarios para saber cuáles son sus opiniones previas a este partido entre Canadá y Chile. Ahora sí, vámonos con el video.
Hello Stavros, it's a pleasure to have you again on my channel. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Yesterday was a hell of a game for Canada. I mean, it sucks that Peru lost for you guys, but I'm doing absolutely fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I am very excited to this new preview of the match of Chile and Canada. So the first question for you is, what is your prediction for this match of Canada versus Chile?
That's a great one. I honestly, like, before the tournament, I thought there was no chance that Canada could beat Chile in this match. And now, after our performance against Peru, after Chile's performance against Peru, Chile's performance against Argentina, my opinion has very much shifted. I think that Chile is not as strong as a team as they've had in years past. I think Canada is a stronger team than a lot of people expected. I legitimately think this game is going to end in a 1-1 draw, just because I think Chile is going to be desperate. They need a result. Canada, a draw under all circumstances will be enough to move them on to the next round. So I'm predicting a 1-1 draw. I think both teams are going to be pushing hard for a goal. I think Canada might get one early and Chile might tie it up late while they're pushing, but it will be a 1-1 draw.
So do you think that Canada will be on the next round of the Copa America?
Yeah, at this stage, I'm saying Canada is going to qualify for the quarterfinal.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. If you told me coming into the last day that there would be an actual chance that Canada could qualify for the quarterfinal, like legitimately they'd be the favored team to qualify coming into the last match day of the Copa America, I would have said that was crazy, that there was no chance that could have happened. But the fact that not only are we in a position where any result against Chile gets us through, we're in a position where, like, we don't even need a win. We can just draw and most likely be through. That is absolutely insane. I never predicted that in a million years.
What is your opinion about the match that Canada played against Peru?
I thought that was a feisty match. It was a hard back and forth one. I think Peru had the goal called back for offside early in the game. I think Canada did very well not to get rattled by that. I think it was a deserved victory for Canada in that match. Like, they came out, they played really well. They did every job they needed to do. They got it done. I thought that the defense was solid. Jonathan David finally scoring a goal. That's the first goal we've scored under our new coach, Jesse Marsh. And it fits that it was David, because he's just been our best goal scorer for years now. I think everything that needed to happen for Canada happened for Canada in that game. It wasn't a perfect match by any means, but I think that game was definitely Canada showing what they can do when they are at or near their best.
Do you think that Alphonso Davies is achieving the expectations?
I think Davies with Canada is always an interesting figure. He kind of has the weight of the world on his shoulders in Canada. He works a lot better as a system player where he's not the main factor. I think, like, at Bayern Munich, he works so well because he's given the freedom to push forward from the left back position because that Bayern Munich team is so good, and he's a added supportive figure in that team. Whereas with Canada, the expectation is for him to be the main guy. And so even in games where he plays very well for Canada, because there's been a lot of games for Canada where he's played very well but hasn't gone on the score sheet or hasn't gone an assist, and people are like, oh, like what, all this hype, and he doesn't perform. He's been great. He's never going to be the guy to like score a brace in a game where you need 2 goals or whatever, but he's performed quite well. Like, the expectations for him with Canada are so high that he can just never possibly live up to them.
Yes, he's a world-recognized player. It's a good football star, so the pressure is always with him. So I would like to know, what are people or media saying about Canada in the Copa America?
People are thrilled with Canada at the Copa America. I think that, especially after that Argentina game, like the media was very behind Canada after that Argentina game. They thought that Canada played exceptionally well in that match. Like, we lost 2-0, but everyone was like blown away with how Canada held their own against the world champions. And even after the Peru match, like, everything is very overwhelmingly positive right now surrounding this Canadian team. People are liking Jesse Marsch as manager. They're liking Alphonso Davies as captain. The goals haven't been coming in the past couple games, but I think just overall the way the system's been playing and the way everyone's been playing, everyone is very happy with them. And then like now all of a sudden we're talking a lot of transfer news. People are talking about Moise Bombito possibly going to Europe, Ishmael Kone going to Marseille, Jacob Schaffelberg is being linked in moves. Like, a lot of not the main guys on this team, but like the second tier of guys on this team are now all being linked to big moves because of how well Canada has performed in the first 2 games of this tournament for the most part. And it really has just led to there being a ton of positivity in Canada around this team right now.
Wow, that's very good. And what, in your opinion, are the most dangerous players of Chile?
Well, Chile is a very interesting team right now. I mean, they still do run Alexis Sanchez, and I am not sure that a 35-year-old Alexis Sanchez is necessarily the way to go, but he is there, he is starting, and like, he's the type of player where he's always a threat regardless of the fact that he's 35 or not. I mean, look at Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi in MLS. They're both that age and they're tearing it up, and like, Alexis Sanchez is the type of player, big game like this one, Chile needs a result. He could be very dangerous from in this match. Also, of course, Eduardo Vargas. I mean, he's also older, but again, another guy who, like, big game, those guys, they're still there for a reason. They're still on this Chilean team for a reason. And so even though they're in their mid-30s now, we can't be like, oh, these guys in their 30s aren't going to be a problem, because they very much might be. And especially in like a game where Chile needs a result, this is likely both of those 2 players' last Copa Americas. They don't want to go out in the group stage. They're going to be putting up big performances this match.
I understand your point of view. And what are the most dangerous players of Canada?
Well, most dangerous players on Canada. Well, the most dangerous player is Jonathan David. It's the striker for Lille. He's been linked everywhere the past couple of years. Fabrizio Romano's been tweeting about him forever. He just scored again in his 50th cap for Canada. He's our second all-time leading goal scorer behind Kyle Larin, who's also currently on this team. But David, just very few players and very few strikers have ever come through and played for Canada with the world-class quality that Jonathan David has. And he is a world-class striker on Canada, which is such a rare sight. And he is just like, he's a guy where you can't give him very many opportunities. He's going to score more often than not. Fantastic, very dangerous player. Alphonso Davies, we all know he can be dangerous. He's not going to score often, but every once in a while, semifinals of the Champions League, he scores a big goal too. So those 2 are our most dangerous, but Jonathan David, on the scale of the entire Copa America, he's probably one of the most dangerous players in this tournament.
Thank you so much, Stavros, for being here. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for being also in the video that we made talking about Peru and Canada. It was very great. People loved that video. So do you have any words for Chilean fans?
Yeah, as I say, for Chilean fans, it's going to be a great match. Like, this is do or die, two teams. One of us is going to go through, one of us is not going to go through. And that is no other way I'd want the group stage to end, when it's two teams that, like, they're not the direct ones competing against each other in the last match of the group stage. That's boring. Canada, Chile, essentially winner goes on to the quarterfinals. It's going to be a fantastic match. I wish you guys the best of luck.
Futboleros, muchísimas gracias por haber visto este video. Ya saben de que me apoyan mucho dejándome su like, suscribiéndose al canal y también comentando cómo creen que quedará este partido entre Canadá y Chile. Sabemos que es una final para los chilenos, no está permitido un empate, mucho menos una derrota, sabiendo que iniciaron pues de una forma dudosa, un 0-0 ante Perú, después cayeron ante Argentina en un partido que pudieron sacar un resultado totalmente distinto como un 0-0. Una genialidad de Lautaro Martínez terminó poniendo el tanto para el albiceleste. Pero ahora toca dejar eso en el pasado y para Chile es importante llevarse los 3 puntos contra Canadá, contra la selección de CONCACAF. Amigos, espero que este video les haya gustado y conmigo será hasta la próxima. Adiós.